You are not defined by anything. At every single moment, you have an opportunity to redefine yourself. Meaning, you are technically nothing. You are no one. You are simply being in this moment. The beautiful part about this is that you have the choice every single moment to recreate yourself however you want. Doesn't matter what your upbringing was, what your story was, you are not that. Now, I had an upbringing where I wasn't someone who I was proud of. I was stifled, insecure, I was ashamed, I was scared of speaking up. I was always looking at people thinking, why not me? Why them? And this sprouted a lot of jealousy, resentment, pain. And I didn't feel accepted. I never felt like I belonged in groups. I never felt like I was enough. And I was like that for a long time. Even until I got out of school. Even though I looked a certain way, acted a certain way, I was pretending. I was pretending to be someone to fit in. I never felt like I fit in. I wasn't happy with who I was. I had an idea of a life I wanted to live and I wasn't living it. I was too scared. But that really forced me to work on myself. It was so much pain. It was unbearable to live that way. At least my perception of it was. And it really just forced me to work. I spent so much time by myself. I never hung out with people because of insecurity as well. I felt uncomfortable in public. I went to a music school. I would play piano at recess and lunch. During primary school, I'd go to the library and read. I'd hang out with a few select nerds. I was low-key a nerd. I felt comfortable around them because I didn't feel like I was being judged. I felt like I could be me and not be judged. I remember the moment I started working out. I heard word going around in that group that I became cocky. Because I started taking care of myself. I thought I was better than everyone, apparently. But in reality, I just wanted to work on myself. I thought being in shape would be enough to get me a life that I wanted. Attention. I wanted attention. So much of what I did was for attention. And typically that's how it starts. Motivators start from a selfish place. And then the further you go in that pursuit, it tends to become bigger than that. I don't work out for the same reasons I worked out back in the day. It used to be from insecurity. I just love it now because of who I become and how I feel from it. But that pain, that insecurity drove me to take the actions necessary to start building healthy habits, learning skills and developing myself as a man, which every man should. I don't think you should just get these things instantly. I think you should work for them because it teaches you so much. Tenacity, the right habits, discipline, delayed gratification. It took me so long to get any kind of benefits from this. It took me so long. I went so long without, and I'm so used to going without. And I think that's an advantage that I have, genuinely. The people who I know growing up who had it, they're weak. They're genuinely weak. They don't know how to work for things. They complain when things don't go their way. Things never went my way. I mean, sure, they did in some ways. Right? I never really was homeless or anything. But with my desires at the time, it didn't go my way. And I was used to not getting it my way. I always felt like I was less. So I learned, I was used to that, you know? But it's just so crazy to look back and see the compound effect of that work from the dissatisfaction and where it can take you in life and the advantage it can give you. And that feeling is so hard to replicate with anything else. That's why I have so much fulfillment out of doing things that require discipline. Because I genuinely feel so proud and capable. There's a deep sense of trust in the willingness to do the work and be different with whatever vehicle I choose to pursue. I know I can get excellence within it. I did it with music. I went to a music school. I did very, very well with piano. Decided not to pursue that path anymore, and then I went into fitness. And then I went into a little bit more of the business headspace. Did some sales as well at the same time, really learned that skill. Everything I do, I get obsessed with it, and I don't really do much else. So I have got that trust and ability in myself to do it. Because in my brain, there's no other alternative. Like, I know what it's like when you don't work hard for things. It's terrible. So I can't let myself be lazy. And it's just so crazy to see how far you can go with that mentality and how you can genuinely change yourself. Now, the hardest thing it took for me to take it to the next level was changing my belief system of how I saw myself and to undo the hooks of my beliefs and how I saw my identity, which is why I'm talking about you can be who you want to be at every single moment. And I feel every single day I'm embodying this mentality of I can be and have whatever the hell I want at any point in time. Why not? It's the reforming of beliefs that can be some of the biggest obstacles that holds not just me, but everyone back from really getting the desired outcome that they want in life. Most people don't feel like they deserve even what they want in the first place. So they find ways to self-sabotage their actions. When things could go so well, they find a way to ruin that momentum because they don't think they deserve it. They don't actually see themselves as getting that thing. Before I even started working out, I already saw myself in shape. Like, I knew for a fact I was going to have it. I've never felt so certain about anything before that point. I was maybe 15. Like, I was so set on getting there. It was the answer to me, to everything. The confidence I wanted, the acceptance, the attention I wanted. I saw it, and I knew without a doubt I was going to have it. I visualized it. I believed it. And that's why I'm here. So I coach fitness. I've been doing it for 7 years. Helping other people because it changed me so much. Not even just the physical part, the mental part. Where it's taken my mind, the mental frameworks I had to develop to keep going. Not just the discipline, but the intensity, where I had to go to reach certain levels. Even powerlifting really did that. Learning to go under heavy loads, maybe that you didn't know you were going to lift back up in a squat. I believe I worked up to 200 kgs in pounds. That might be 450 pounds or something. 80 kilos body weight. It was kind of scary. But at the same time, you have to tap into a mentality where you're so present that you're willing to die. You're like, fuck it. Let's just lift that shit. You have to get into a place of extreme certainty that it's coming up. You have to only look at the success. You have to visualize the bar coming up and you standing back up again. It's so interesting how it works. You genuinely get what you focus on. You genuinely get what you focus on. Somehow the world works like that. You focus on the negative, you get the negative. You focus and you put out the vibration of the outcome that you want, you get it. And that's why I say, you are not your story. You are not what you think you are, of these negative stories that you tell yourself, the victim that you tell yourself you are. You're not that. You're choosing to be it. You're choosing to focus on it. And you will live it out because you put that energy out into the world, and that's how people see you and you receive it back. So aggressively focus on the outcome you want. Because then you'll feel it. You'll feel that outcome. And you'll act that way. And you'll project it out, and people only know what they see and feel. They don't know anything about your history. So they'll treat you that way. The same way as if you were already the person who had that thing, that outcome, that lifestyle. They won't know the difference. Therefore, you'll be treated that way. And those opportunities come through, and all of a sudden your life starts to mold into that reality. Law of attraction. Or vibration. And I just think that's fucking beautiful. Genuinely, like the person I was back then is gone. And every day I'm like, God damn. Total recreation. It's fucking wild. But it's important you get out of the environment that you identify with that person you don't want to be, because it makes it a lot harder to make that shift. I had to leave Sydney to do it. So I went to Gold Coast, but even in Gold Coast, it was still there a little bit, but it was just easier because you're around different people, different mentality. You got to change your environment. You can't be in the same place because you got old strings pulling you, right? People who already see you one way, treat you one way. There's going to be more resistance to the process. So just get out of that area. Ideally, you change it up. Like when I got out of high school, as soon as I finished, I was like, I don't have to pretend to be this guy anymore. I'm just going to be who I want to be. My life felt so much better instantly. Not because of them, but because of me. I gave myself permission because I was in a different setting. And in my brain, I'm like, I don't have to act like this guy anymore. No one knows that I was this guy. It's wild, right? We just hold ourselves back. So, total recreation, change your environment, and you're not stuck to one thing. At any moment, like literally, even me just 2 minutes ago, I don't have to be that guy anymore right now. I can be whoever I want to be and just start to live that way. Nothing, people get too attached to things, and I used to do this as well. I used to get too attached to how things had to be, and overthink things so much. Like it was like meant to be this way, and then what happens if this and this? Just do what the best course of action is right now, and you just keep being present and readjusting and readjusting and readjusting. And don't judge the fact. Don't judge the fact if it changes. Embrace it, and you just always have the filter of doing the best course of action according to your knowledge right now. And you just live it out, and you adapt. You just run with it. You have a deep trust that things will work out. Because you're the kind of person who can figure it out. That's important. And to be the kind of person, you need to prove to yourself that you are through actions. So one aspect is the mentality, the other aspect is the habits and the actions that you were taking on a consistent basis, and avoiding the disappointment and form of regret through the lack of actions that you were taking. And when I say the actions that are supposedly in alignment with the goals that you have. If you're not doing them, you will feel disappointed in yourself. You'll have a lack of self-esteem because your thoughts and your actions are not aligned. They're misaligned. When they are aligned, your self-esteem, boom. Because you know you're acting how you should be. So just act how you know you should act at every moment in time and watch what happens, and don't judge what happens at the same time. Embrace it. You don't have to be stuck. You don't have to stay where you are. You have one fucking life. Live that shit. Don't hold back. Get rid of the shit that doesn't fucking serve you. Be whoever the fuck you want to be. Because why not?